Hey, hello, this is Henry. Thank you for joining me today. And I just wanted to bring up one extra little, what do you call these things to focus on? Have you read this guy? Have you noticed, like I have, that there are stories about him popping up all over the internet right now, Facebook and other places? I read this book probably 20 years ago. Let's see, the first time that this was published, 1997 was the first edition. So yeah, almost almost 30 years ago, over 25 years ago. And the updated 20th anniversary, which is this, says 20th anniversary, was published in April of 2017. So it's interesting that Robert Kiyosaki has come out talking about AI so much recently. He started that about a year ago, and it's interesting that what he is referring to is that in his book, if you've read it, let me just show you, switch over here. He has this cash flow quadrant that he calls it. And you can see that most people are in the E quadrant, where we're trading our time equals money, right? Trading time for money. Some people that are self-employed have been trading time for money also. So this is the left side of the quadrant. The amount of active work determines the income for the self-employed. So for instance, real estate agents, uh, people who are involved in any type of real estate transactions where they're doing active work, not people who are getting passive income because they own property and they're getting monthly or annual income from that. People who are, say, an electrician or a plumber or somebody that owns a beauty shop. Then you would come over into the area of a business owner. So you're more than self-employed. You're not just a sole proprietor, but you're a business owner. And it says here, income does not depend on active work. So that would involve employees, and that brings in the cash. Well, this is the way that he originally designed it. Now you notice I have a red X over the top of employees because what I want to talk about is how the changes that have happened over the last several years, in particular the last 3.5 to 4 years, with the launching of the business that I'm going to be talking about, has eliminated the need for employees. And now solo entrepreneurs, or solopreneurs as sometimes referred to, are able to create income on their own using tools of AI and other tools that are automated. And of course, down here, I'll just mention also in this area, the investor. So income does not depend on active work. So uh, some of you may know that for about a year and a half, I was involved in real estate investing, and I was actively looking for properties that I could buy. And I was basically working as the free agent or the independent marketing department for real estate investors who were house flippers, contractors. And so I would find properties, and then uh, we would be able to I wouldn't be the one who was swinging the hammer. But I got out of that the end of 2025. I closed that down. But my wife and I have continued on to be investors in property. So we have some money coming due to us in about, I think, about another 60 days or so, maybe a little longer, for investment we did with an active real estate investor. And we're just passively investing some money in that. But let me switch over here and talk about what I really want to share with you today is what has helped to make the transition from what Robert Kiyosaki has shown us here with this business owner to being able to be a self-employed business owner who doesn't need a bunch of staff to do the work for them. And so this I'm going to show you for a couple minutes here, the inside of it's called the Kajabi portal that I have access to now that I have joined Legacy Builders, which is all digital products. And just to give you a short history, about 2008, I went to a internet marketing conference, met a gentleman there, became a friend of mine, and we ended up for 4 years working together. I traveled with him to help him put on internet marketing conferences. And in those conferences, I bring this up not to give history, brag about what I did. It was an interesting time. We had a lot of fun, met a lot of great people. But one of the things that happened in these 3-day conferences, these were live events that we put on in different places in the US, also did one in Tel Aviv, Israel. And we would have presenters that would do a 90-minute presentation, and then towards the end, they would talk about their product. And they would then send people to the back table where they would exchange their credit cards for a stack of DVDs or CDs or printed books. And there may be a part of that package that included some ongoing training, maybe getting on a there was no Zoom back at that time. So they would do some audio, some phone calls and so on to help people. But that was the extent of it. So back then, those products were all put on plastic or paper. Today, with Legacy Builders, all of that content and more is now available in digital format. And so this is when people join, and I'll give you some information in a bit to show you how you can do this. When people join the Legacy Builders program, they come in and they have access to this page to start with. And this is where the primary Legacy Builders bundle is. And you notice there was also said Espanol. It's also available in Spanish. So here's the training. There is the founder of the company. That is Michelle O'Neill, who began this business. She went from working a MLM, a multi-level marketing business, where she was making a small percentage on the each of the products that she was selling, and she was not making enough to take care of her 6 children at that point. And so she discovered a way to do online digital marketing, and that was the beginning of the company that transformed her life and the life of many hundreds and even thousands of people. So she went from being, I think her story, if I recall, she was having problems just paying the rent and so on, or the mortgage. And within 17 months, she made her first million through digital marketing. So this, I'll just scroll through here and show you, these are the various modules that are all digital. These are typically uh, anywhere from 5 or 6 minutes to 10 minutes to the videos inside these. And let me just click on one here. Um, and it's not just training on products, but you see here the CEO mindset and clarity. So here's typically what you would see inside of each of these packages. There's multiple videos and training material. Sometimes they include printed material that it's a PDF that you can download. And so that is the part of the packages. It's not everything in there, but when you join, you also get a whole screen full as I scroll through here, show you all of the bonuses that are available. There are 200 digital product ideas. There's a 30-day market strategy growth plan. And then this video actually is about 2 years old. It talks about how she went from nothing, basically. As you can see, the replay was from 2024, a couple of years, not quite 2 years ago. And she did her first million in 17 months. So she outlines how that happened in her life. So you can see there's a lot of information. If you are doing images or videos and you use or need to use Canva, which is a program online that you can create images in. A lot of the images that I put up, and when I create videos, I will edit those in Canva. So there's a whole course in here about Canva. And there's a bunch of other video training in here. So along with that, people get access to the digital growth community, which is a school. You can see up here, it says skool.com. This was built on the school platform, and there are over 60,000. You can see down here in the corner, over 60,000 members now. It just topped over 60,000 here about, I think it was Friday last week, Thursday or Friday, sometime within the last week. So these are people worldwide. The interesting thing is that when Michelle began her business, she began it on TikTok. And for whatever reason, the algorithm sent the information that she was sharing to South Africa. And I believe the number is something like 30 millionaires, maybe higher than that now. I believe that that's the number. 30 millionaires just in South Africa alone. There is a great how could I put this? There are a great number of people all over the world that are part of Legacy Builders now. And it is a fully automated system, meaning when people go to your pre-built website, which you can see mine over here, and they drop their email address into this box and hit the button, there are 2 pages that they go to. One is a video. I'll show you that in a moment. And then there's another page that has all of the content that shows the pricing structure, what the packages include. There are 5 different packages in that. These are, again, all digital, and all of the products that people have access to are here. You receive the training yourself on all these different areas, and including all these bonus areas for training. There's also training in AI, which if you've never worked with AI and you have no idea of how all that works, you can go in there and access that and get the training program there. I also I have a school community of my own where I'm helping people that are beginning AI. And on Fridays at 1 o'clock, I talk more about that, and I'll be sharing on that if you want to come over there then. So over here is the digital growth community. And like I said, there's over 60,000 people already in that community. And let me go back over here. So you have access to that digital growth community when you join Legacy Builders. You also get a pre-built website that is it's basically a template where there's a few things that you go in there. Like I had this photo of myself, actually one of my AI twins. You've probably seen me using this image of myself in several different postings on Facebook and also Instagram and so on, which are my main places that I put my information. And so you get this website that basically there's this page, your landing page. There, when people fill out the email address, all they have to give is their email address. They don't have to give their name or mailing address or phone number, any of that. And you get dropped on this page where there's about a 9-10 minute video that Michelle has to give you some introductory information. And then if you want to go and take a look and basically see what the income streams are, you can click this button. And again, you get this same website. And there are some things on here that you can personally brand. Like if I scroll down here a ways, I know I'm going kind of fast, but I want to make this live stream fairly short. I don't want to get into a lot of information right now because here in just a minute, there we go. This is what I wanted to show. So I was able to go in here and put my own bio in, and again, the same photo. You can see that looks a little different than I do here in my image down in the lower right hand corner of the screen. So this is full of information. There are videos in here from people. It's just, yeah, I know I'm going kind of fast, but it gets into the different phases and then also the product packages. So some people that have gotten into online business, internet marketing, MLMs or affiliate marketing programs, you make a small percentage of whatever that product is, whether it's a health product, a beauty product, maybe it's I know at one time I was involved with a company that was an an existing MLM, which was greeting cards, and I would get a small percentage of the profit. And every month that volume would roll over, so I'd have to start from zero again every month in most of these programs, the way they're set up. With Legacy Builders, we start at $100 product. It's not a $9 product or a $27 product. It's a $100 product where you get full access to everything that I've shown you. You get your own website. You get access to the digital community, the digital growth community. And then depending upon the level that you come in at, from the 100, 300, 600, 900, or the $1,400 bundle pack. And there are people that are selling any and all of these several times a month. Some people that have been at this for a while that are doing this multiple times a week and pulling in money. So here again is these are the entry levels, the $100, $300, and $600. A great benefit is if somebody wants to come in and start, excuse me, and they don't want to or can't invest at the higher levels, if they want to come in at, say, the $100 or $300 or $600 level, and they would like to upgrade at some point maybe to the full $1,400 package where you get not only the English but the Spanish website. Everything is in Spanish as well as English. If you like to do that, then the people that come into my team, the Henry Greiner team at henrygreinerteam.com, are able to do that and just pay the difference. So if somebody comes in today and says, I'll do the $100, and in 30 or 60 days, I hope to increase my income and I will upgrade to the $600, for instance. Do the math really easy for me. So if they want to do that upgrade, there's no time limit on that. They could do it in a month, they could do it in 6 months. They just need to contact me and I will create a bucket, an order bucket, and give them the link, and they just pay the difference. So they would pay an extra $500, and then they get access to everything in that additional package. When people want to go from some other lower product package up to, say, the $900 or the $1,400 package, again, they just pay the difference. So that makes it very easy for people to start. It makes an easy entry point for people no matter what their budget is. Again, when you come in, you have access to all of this information. Now, when you come in at the lower package levels, not all of what you see here is available, but much of it. And you do get access to the digital growth community. And one of the things I wanted to point out before I close here is that when you come in and join, Michelle has made multiple millions. I mentioned earlier that she made her first million in the first 17 months that she was building this program. She has now gotten to the point where she makes 6 figures a month. And so she has made multiple millions. When people join the program, they have full access to a millionaire who does training at no additional cost to us every week on Mondays at 11 o'clock Central Time for an hour to 2 hours. She's on live. She does breakout sessions in there after she gives information and training, puts about 6 to 8, 10 of us into rooms together where we get to discuss whatever that topic of training was and get to build and share and encourage each other. So that there's two things about that. One is we have a free coach, a mentor who has made millions of dollars, who is there to support us. And we have a community of people that we get to know more and more all the time, week after week, who are there to encourage us. Because in the community, we can go in here, we can go into the classroom area and go through the various training modules in there. We can go into the community level where we can actually share the wins that we have. I'll just pull one of these up, and you can see right now there's a live button on, and if I click that, I would actually jump into a live training that Michelle just happens to be doing at the same time. So I will look at the replay later today or this evening and see what is being trained. Unfortunately, I can't do both at the same time. But here we see the wins that people have. Here's one a day ago, just made $1,400. Now this, they're showing not Australian, excuse me, South African rand is their denomination. Here's Tanya, who did $900 before 8 a.m. And people sometimes, if they feel like they're doing something wrong, they post their information here and others come and support them. Tuck the kids in bed and 1,400 ding came in while in the sofa. I think she meant on the sofa, not in it. 16 sales in 10 days, feeling so blessed. So that's just part of the benefit of being able to be part of Legacy Builders is we have that multi-million dollar mentor, and she is right now being mentored by somebody who is a much higher level. I won't share his name right now, but he is at a much higher level who has multiple businesses, and his team is actually mentoring Michelle and her team, her top people that work with her, and helping the whole group of us that are in Legacy Builders to grow and expand. When they find something on the website or the processes, they let her know. She explains that to us. And so, and that's all free to me. I don't pay anything more to have weekly access to be able uh, to watch her, and I can interact with her. There's been a couple occasions so far when I've been on a Zoom meeting and actually been able to speak directly, and she's been giving me some direct coaching on what I'm doing and what I should be doing and what changes I should make. And so that's available to everybody who comes into the program. I'm nobody special. I've been on the internet since 1996, 1995 when I first learned about it, built my first website in 96. But I, after all these years and helping my friend with his internet marketing business for 4 years, I have never found a training program and product program that is so well geared for people who know nothing about online business. And so I want to encourage you as I wrap up here. I want to finish this up before the 30 minutes is up. I want to encourage you that this evening, excuse me, at 7 o'clock tonight Central Time, Michelle is doing her her next live webinar, and she will be back over here and get back to my photo. Let's see if I can find it again. Uh, she'll be doing training, actually not training, but sharing the business and bringing on 5 men who have built the business. One of them, when I listened to her earlier today, she mentioned that one of these gentlemen has made over $750,000 in just under 3 years. And that she said that he will hit the $1 million mark very soon. So under 3 years, $750,000. So that I'm going to be on there myself. I want to hear the testimony. I know who some of these people are, but I want to hear their testimonies direct. And so I will be posting the information about that this afternoon on my Facebook page. And if you're interested in having access to that, if you go to my page over here, to my henrygrinerteam.com page, see here, you go to henrygrinerteam.com and drop your email into this box, and you will receive an email that has, I showed you a few minutes ago, has Michelle's video on there. You can look at that, and if you click the link on that video, you will be taken to that page that has information about the products that I showed you. You can read through that information yourself. That's why I went through it kind of quickly. I didn't want to try to read word for word to you. And you can also watch several of the, there's quite a few videos on there, testimonials from people who have been involved with the business for various lengths of time. And if you have any questions, once you put your email address in there, you will receive an email back from me, and that comes, any responses, anytime you hit the reply, that comes directly to my personal email to henry@henrygriner.com. So I'd encourage you, number one, to click the link to be able to and I will drop that in the video replay here. I'll put the link to my, I could put it in the chat, I guess, but I can't quite get to the other computer right now to do that. But after the replay is rendered up, And on Facebook, I will put my link to henrygrinerteam.com, and you can put your email address in there, get on the list, and then you'll get that first email, and then you'll get a second email that'll actually have the link that you can register for the Zoom meeting tonight at 7 o'clock Thursday night, May 14th, Thursday night at 7 o'clock, and listen to the presentation that Michelle will be doing. So just to get back, taking one more look at Robert's plan here, if you have been one that's been operating in the area where you've been working, putting in your time to make money, you may be working a couple jobs, maybe you've had a successful career, but it's making you work long hours. I was an IT manager for a huge furniture store back in Minnesota for about 7.5, 8 years. And I was not on the clock. I was salaried. That meant that basically they owned my time as whatever time I needed to put in to get the job done. And being in IT, there were times that I had to come in and work after hours into the evenings or partway through the night, along with technicians when we're installing servers and doing those kinds of things. And I was trading my time for dollars. If you are self-employed, you are still trading time for dollars. If you are a business owner and you have employees, you are still you're better off, but you're still having to put in your time unless you've been able to set it up to be totally hands off and you have a manager or others that run the business. Of course, if you're an investor, if you're at that stage in life where you've made your money and you don't need to put in the hours, you're probably not watching this video right now. You're probably not on the live stream or watching the replay. But if you're somebody like me who has been trying for years, I primarily want to talk to people who are the frustrated yet hopeful online business explorers who still have not found the key for automated income. If that's you, I encourage you to join with me with Legacy Builders, be part of my team. You'll get training from a multi-millionaire who is getting mentoring from a multi-millionaire. I don't know if this gentleman's a billionaire yet. It's not Elon. But yeah, so if you're at that place where you've tried and not been able to succeed and you want to give it one more go, I encourage you to join me and come over to Legacy Builders, be part of the program with me, part of the community, and be encouraged. So thank you for your time. That's it for now. If you have any comments, drop them in the live stream, or if you're on Facebook. I haven't even glanced over at my phone to see who's on there, but I will try to catch up with any comments that people have dropped. So thank you again for your time.